Shalom everybody and welcome to Regah Bivrit. Today we are concluding the book of Bamidbar, and just as the title Machia'h, the journeys, today I'm recording in the journey that I am taking from the wilderness. I hope you've been enjoying this series on Bamidbar as we're looking forward to start the book of Devarim next week. Please continue to share and like those broadcasts. I always explain to you that as important as it is to read the parasha, it is important to read what came before and after the parasha, specifically what came in the context of what we're reading. And this week in Matot-Massei, we are reading about the recap of the entire journey of the book of Bamidbar. The word Machia'h in Hebrew literally means journeys. So the title of this portion is journeys. And in the beginning of the portion here, in chapter 33, we read in verse 1, Ele Machia'h bnei Israel asher yatz'u me'eretz Mitzrayim letziv'otam biyad Moshe ve'Aaron. There are a few things that I would like to point to you as you read verse 1. He said that these are the journeys of the son of Israel who left out Egypt, letziv'otam, as they become like an army, as they become a military. And this is very important to understand, that as is Israel going out step by step, God have a purpose in this entire journey. And the purpose in this entire journey is to make them an army, to make them like a military, to prepare them into the inheritance of the land. Now, it says here that starting in verse 3, we read again and again this word, Vayis'u miRamses. Okay, and then we say Vayesu bnei Israel, Vayesu misukot. This word Vayesu is important because it does not just mean that they journey, it's talking about a transformation. In each one of those stages that they are going through, there's been a different type of transformation that is taking place. And there's an important application for all of this for us today. The transformation that God has for each and every one of you in the last days is depending upon ability to take a journey that will get you from like in a baseball, from first base to second base to third base and ultimately home run. And that's the way God viewed the journey, and that's the way you should also view your journey. Vayesu, which talking about procedural stages, a step by step, as it says in the prophet Isaiah, precept upon precept, line upon line. Now, the interesting thing that I want you to pay attention to is toward the language of the Torah. The language of the journey is symmetrical. Vayesu means they went to the next level, and the name of the place. So there is almost like a symmetry in reading this passage. But this symmetry is broken right at verse 37. Listen to this. It says, Vayes'u mikadesh vayachnu bahar behor ahar beketzer eretz Edom. There is a difference here in the language that I want you to pay attention. They left Kadesh and they came to the edge of the land of Edom. Now, as you learned with me in the last few weeks, every time that we hear the word Edom, there is something messianic that have to do with the passage. So pay attention to that. This is very important. In the edge of Edom, something happened. And here the Torah is repeating again what we read about in the book of Numbers, chapter 20. That's why I say it's very important to read it all in context. And the Torah says in verse 38, Vayal Aaron HaKohen el או ההר על פי אדוני וימת שם. You see, the Torah wanted to pause and explain to us that all the journey that is taking place, all the things that is taking place, in the end of the day, they are to lead us to this place that Aaron has died. And the question is, why is it important to understand the place that Aaron has died? And why the Torah wanted to signify to us? I want to remind you that Aharon is the very first one who is called Kohen Machia'h, the anointed high priest. The very first time we see the word Machia'h in the context of Aaron. And Machia'h, of course, Aaron is a prototype, is a picture of the Machia'h to come. So here we see Kohen Machia'h, and the Torah tells us exactly when the Kohen Machia'h died. The Kohen Machia'h died right outside the promised land. Where did Yeshua die? Yeshua also had died right outside the promised land. And this is very important, very significant for us to understand it. When I say Yeshua died outside the promised land, he died as scattered from his people, as rejected by his own people. This is very important. It's a picture of Machia'h. And here the Torah says, very interesting, in verse 38, it says, Vayamat Sham. Every time you see the word Sham in the Hebrew, it represents a place of stripping one on glory, the rejection of one, the person who is truly has been forsaken and is abused in such a way. And it's interesting because it says that Aaron was also stripped of his own glory. At the same time, he was stripped of his own glory when he had died. It says so in Numbers chapter 20. So here it says, וימת שם בשנת 40 לצאת בני ישראל מארץ מצרים בחודש החמישי באחד לחודש. So this is very important to understand. Where did Aaron die? He died outside the camp. Where was he died? He died in Edom. What is another name for Edom? Esav. Esav, if you flip the letters, is the name Yeshua. He has died inside Christianity. And you probably ask the question, I don't understand. Yeshua has rose again from the grave. It is true. But for the Jewish people, he has been dead for the last 2,000 years. And nothing, absolutely nothing has been changed that, because he has died in the skirt of Edom because of the 2,000 years of Christianity that we had for us. So today, what is our commission? Is to go outside the camp, to be in Edom, those who work inside Christianity, and to bring him back and to restore him back. May you be part of the restoration of the Messiah. This is, friends, our Regah Bivrit.